So I think that business owners who want to tell better stories in their marketing think that storytelling tools help them create better stories. I believe that it's not the tools that help you create the stories. The tools expose whether you know what story you're trying to tell. I'm Monique James. I am a marketing strategist and a certified AI consultant. I work with leaders who want to leverage AI without losing clarity, credibility, or control. And I want to talk about storytelling tools. And I'm going to show you a tool in a second, but I want to be really clear about how I'm going to use the tool. What I want to focus on is helping you decide whether a tool like the one I'm going to show you deserves your attention right now or whether it's going to be another distraction. Because without a clear goal, even the most powerful AI tools that you know and love can derail you. So, this is Gemini Storybook. If you are a Gemini user, maybe you've heard of it. It's recent, it's new. Anyway, this tool helps users create personalized illustrated stories about anything with read aloud narration. Now, what the tool cannot do is help you, the leader, decide which narrative matters for your business in this season. So this is what the tool is. It's a Gemini feature, and we're going to use it. We're going to use it, and we're going to talk about why you knowing, making the decisions about what's important in your business matters, so that you do not fall down a rabbit hole chasing another shiny object. So the question I want you to ask right now as you're looking at this, and maybe you're already starting to get ideas and your heart is starting to pound and you're starting to get a little sweaty because you're already like, oh, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. Here's the thing. What I want you to slow down and ask yourself is, which story can I tell that supports where my business is going this quarter? These are the kinds of decisions that you want to make anytime you come up against a shiny new AI tool, because that is going to help you determine if a tool like this becomes an accelerator for your brand or a distraction. Okay, so now we are in Storybook, and you see Storybook is an experiment. It's not a full feature yet in Gemini. It's an experiment. So I'm going to drop a prompt in here for a story that I want Storybook to create for a business that helps small business owners feel confident using AI without losing their voice or credibility. It's given some instructions on what the story should do, and then it tells it what not to do. And so we're going to submit that. So while that's working, I want you to start asking yourself some very important questions. Anytime you come up upon or see a tutorial about a shiny new tool, you as the leader are responsible for asking yourself, what could this tool support, if anything, right now for my business? Not what can I do with this? Because the what can I do with this questions, those are the recipe for distractions, overwhelm, frustration, and self doubt, because they actually move you further and further away from your goal. You need to be discerning enough to determine what the tool can do for you right now. How can it support? And while we wait on the storybook to generate, I've been having these conversations over the last couple of weeks about business leaders, AI tool users, really getting clear on what it is that matters in their businesses so that they can put AI to work for their businesses. So I'm going to hop back in to the tool because my story is ready. So here is my story. So this is the human blueprint. So my book, my storybook, is the human blueprint. And remember the prompt that I gave the tool? I told it to create a clear narrative outline for a business that wants to help small business owners feel confident using AI without sacrificing their voice or losing credibility. And so it created a story. Lynn was sitting at her desk, looking dejected, looking tired. She had sketches of furniture designs pinned to the walls. Sawdust lingered on her sweater, but on her screen, a different world hummed. Buzz around AI, blah, 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 blah. Lynn was afraid. She thought she might lose the soul of what she had built. So she got an email. She went back to her email. She saw that there was an invitation for a live work session on intentional AI. No flashy promises of overnight wealth or warnings of being left behind. Instead, the message spoke of clarity and leadership. She hesitated. She didn't want a shortcut. She wanted a way to manage the growing weight of her business so she could return to her drawing board. Then she went out and she had a conversation with her friend Soren, whose shirt happens to match the lamps in his bookstore. That is wonderful. Soren pulled out a worn notebook, blah, 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 talked about what is the value of a tool. If you use a chisel without a plan, you'll ruin the wood. But if you know exactly what you're making, the chisel just helps you get there faster. Come on with the wisdom, Soren. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Then, after that conversation, Lynn realized that her hesitation wasn't rooted in a lack of skill, but in a desire to protect her brand's honesty. She decided to attend the session. She clicked the register button. It wasn't a surrender, it was an act of leadership. The work session was held in a quiet loft, no flashing lights, no hype filled presentation. The room was filled with other business owners, people like her who cared deeply about their work. The atmosphere was one of focused study, and at the front of the room was Kyle, who was the facilitator. Didn't talk about replacing humans, talked about extending human intent through ethical, clear decision making. Come on. Told them put their laptops away before we get into the technology. Let's define the soul of your business. Then they went into the practical application. Think of AI as a very fast apprentice. It can do the heavy lifting, but you provide the signature. Come on, y'all. Listen. The next week, Lynn was back in her studio and she lived happily ever after. Okay, listen. You just heard the story. You just saw the story. The tool created the story in a few minutes, right? A few minutes. It didn't take long. Didn't take long at all. And so if you're watching this and you're like, okay, I'm getting hyped, Monique. Like this, I'm feeling the energy. I'm ready to jump out of my chair. Again, I will challenge you to slow down. And instead of asking, what can I do with this? I want you to ask yourself, what could Gemini Storybook support, if anything, in my business right now? And because I'm your online AI consultant, I want to give you some use cases just to get your brain moving in a direction that could lead you to the goal. So maybe you just want to clarify what your core message is, right? You just want to clarify it so that you could train your team. So you could create a storybook using a tool like this, could create a story that you would use to train your internal team members on what makes your brand special. And it's told in a way that resonates. It's told like a story. It's not may not necessarily be using the jargony language that your business tends to use, or the $25 words that relates to your industry. Instead, it's told like a story and it's designed to be memorable. So if you are working with a team and there is confusion or there is misalignment, something like this could be helpful. If you are a solopreneur and you are just trying to do more faster, it might add some complexity. Just keep that in mind. Another one, let's say your business is supporting a specific initiative this quarter. You could use the story to guide people to guide your audience to a specific objective. It could be a launch, it could be a program, it could be a focused campaign, because in the context of what we just created, the story only has one job. Kind of like my story only had one job. Okay. If you know what the decision is that you want your audience to make, a tool like this can help reinforce the decision. I'm not saying, but I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. So, anyway, here's the thing: the whole decision making process is a part of the process. Just jumping to the tool is not what you want to do if you've been doing that. You want to slow yourself down and ask yourself the question: what could it support right now? And if you are unclear on how to figure that out, this is why I created my AI work sessions. These are monthly 2-hour live virtual work sessions designed for business owners, nonprofit leaders, coaches, consultants, DIY entrepreneurs who want to leverage AI, but like Lynn, they don't want to lose the soul of their business. They don't want to feel like the robots are taking over. They still want to feel like they're in control. They want to use the technology as a tool that is guided by them. I am not, I don't focus on tools. My work with leaders in integrating AI does not focus on tools. It starts with you, the leader, the human being that is at the center of everything. From there, we integrate the tools aligned with the decisions that you have already made. So I am looking forward to seeing you at the January AI work session, which is on January 24th. We are going to be talking about building a content system, a marketing system that you can build and repeat for the next year or beyond, starting with your clear leadership style decisions. So there's a link attached to this video where you can learn more about the first 2 sessions. They're already scheduled. And if you are watching this video before January 24th, you can register and be in the virtual room for the January 24th session. They do include the replays. So here's the thing, y'all. There's a lot of tools out there doing a lot of amazing things. It's wonderful. It's great. Do not slide down the slippery slope of shiny objects and expecting tools to do the very impactful, important work of leading your business to the place where you want it to go. The clarity that you are the clarity that you want doesn't happen on its own. You have to choose it. And from that choice, put the technology to work in a way that allows you to not be exhausted, to not feel like you're trying to play catch up with random strangers on the internet, and to feel more confident as a leader in your brand. So, register for the January work session or the February work session or the whatever work session. I just want to see you at the work session. Your clarity doesn't limit your possibility. What it actually does is protect it. And I'm here to help you get clear. So, thank you for watching. If you have questions, comments, anything, drop them in below, and I'll catch you later. Bye.